Today's video, I wanted to show you how I let my sourdough bulk ferment in the fridge. So here it is. I put this together last night, so I started my process a little bit later than I was hoping to. And so after I had got my starter active and I mixed it all together and I did all my stretch and folds, then it was about 6 p.m. and I am not one to change my lifestyle for my bread, okay? So my bread can wait on me. I'm not gonna be waiting around on my bread. So I let it start to bulk ferment for about 3 hours. So it was about 9 p.m. and I did not want to have to wake up at like 2 in the morning to make sure that it wasn't over fermented. So what I did is I stuck it in the fridge. So it was on the counter for 3 hours and then I stuck it in the fridge just after 9 p.m. And then I took it out this morning from the fridge around 7:15 p.m. So it was in there for 10 hours. 10 hours in the fridge. So I pulled it out this morning. I was getting the kids ready for school. I pulled it out and it is now 11:15. So it's been out on the counter for 4 hours, just enough time to let it get to room temperature and to finish its fermentation. So I just wanted to show you where it's at. So you can see it's a little jiggly. It's still a little cold, but you can see that there are bubbles all along the side there. And I push into it and it is rising a little bit. So I am going to go ahead and shape this dough. So I've cleaned my counter and I'm just gonna let this pull away from the bowl. Sometimes I kind of use my finger to help push the sides down a little bit to help it come out. This is my first time letting it ferment in the fridge. So this is an experiment. Let's see if it works. I am all for sleep, guys, so I'm not one to wake up at odd hours to finish it. I would rather have overproofed dough, which still tastes great. It just doesn't rise quite as well or look quite as pretty. Does it still taste good? Yes. So I'm just gonna get my dough scraper. Let's get these little bits out. Let's see how this dough does. I'm kind of excited. This will be a really nice hack if it works well, because there are lots of times I'm like, oh, I should do sourdough today, and then the timing just doesn't work out really well because we have lives, right? Kids, jobs. So all I'm doing is I'm gently just pulling it into the shape of a rectangle. You don't flour your countertop. It isn't sticking to the countertop, so that's a good sign that it's proved pretty well. You don't want to like push on it. You don't want to like punch it down. You want to try and keep those air bubbles in there. So now you're just going to fold it into thirds. So this goes a third of the way, and then this one folds a third of the way. So now you have this long rectangle. Starting from one of the sides, I'll pick this one. You're just gonna roll it. So you're rolling it up, rolling it up. So now it looks like a big lion house roll. If you've ever had lion house rolls, they're so good. Okay, this is a fun part. If you want, you can pinch the sides. I honestly don't. I just go ahead and start shaping it from here. So you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna grab your dough and you're gonna kind of twist it and pull it towards you. So I'm gonna grab it, twist it, and pull it towards me as I'm twisting it. Okay, I'm gonna lift it back up so that I have more room on my counter to do it again. And all you're trying to do is make some surface tension on there and make the top smooth. So look at that dough. It is so smooth on top. Okay, I'm just gonna do it a little bit because I just lifted it up. Okay, this dough is ready to be put in the fridge again. So here's my Banneton. I found these off of Amazon with the liners. They're so nice. I love having them. I like the round. I know that there are the oval Bannetons. I have round ones. I got some rice flour. I got that off of Amazon as well. I couldn't find it at my local grocery store, so I had to buy it off of Amazon. So I can link all that stuff below. But you're just gonna put a little bit in that liner just to help it so it won't stick. And then you can use your dough scraper, you can use your hands, it just depends on how sticky your dough is, but you're gonna just kind of scoop underneath it and you're gonna flip it upside down into the Banneton so that that smooth side here is now gonna be on the bottom here, okay? So we're gonna scoop it up, flip it in there. Perfect. So that bottom part, that one it's not nice and pretty, right? It's not smooth like the top of your dough was. So what a lot of people like to do is you kind of want to let it sit for a minute just because we have been working the dough. We've been trying to build that tension. We're going to let it rest for just a little bit and then we're going to just pinch the dough. You can pinch it. Some people do like stitching. There's so many methods. I just squeeze it shut. So you can choose however you'd like to do it. So while I'm letting that sit, I'm just going to go put these in the sink. So if you're like me, you've tried sourdough and you've messed up and you've had terrible loaves and you've wasted starter and you've killed your starter, and there's just so many things that can go wrong with sourdough, but it's also something that you can just keep trying, and once you figure it out, it's so worth it. So I started making sourdough at the beginning of 2024 and I failed and I failed and I failed and I gave up. And my brother-in-law, who had a successful starter and had been baking for a few months, was like, nope. And so he gave me a starter and he gave me some tips, and I have grown and changed and learned, and I make sourdough all the time. My sourdough lives in the fridge. I am not one to just have it on the counter and feed it all the time because I don't use it all the time. I use it when I have time. I have 4 kids, and so I am busy. And so it's once a week, sometimes it's once every 2 weeks, sometimes it's 3 times a week. So I can do it on my schedule and I don't have to feel like I'm on the sourdough schedule, which is super nice. Okay, we've let this sit for a few minutes. See, it's kind of come apart a little bit. So I am just going to pinch my dough together. So I'm just gonna get 2 sides and I'm just gonna pinch it. Almost looks like a dumpling. And I'm going to do that a little bit on this side. So I'm just going to pull up this side and kind of pinch it towards the middle. This also helps with surface tension, just so that when you are ready to bake it, it rises really well. And that is all I do. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to stick it in the fridge. It can be in the fridge for up to 36 hours. I like to bake mine sooner. I like to bake mine usually just after a day or at least 6 hours. So this loaf I will probably bake tomorrow after almost a full day, and it'll be great.